Good morning to all of you. Welcome to our Ash Wednesday Namaste service. Wonderful to have all of you here. We were just talking a moment ago about humility, falling back, not asserting ourselves, not trying to convince ourselves or anyone else of our importance, of our value, of what we know, of what we believe. Because it's that shadow, those beliefs, those ideas that are keeping me away from the light that I say is in me, that I claim to be my foundation. And it is. The light is within each one of us. It is our foundation. But our need to assert, our need to claim and say, look at me, look how much I know, rather than just surrendering and being humble. I've been thinking a lot about this lately. Of course, I've been thinking about it in terms of my own experience. Not thinking that I wish others would become more humble. I wish everybody else at Namaste would start realizing how little they know. But realizing, as we've said many times before, that there's only one who needs to get this, and it's me. This is probably the highest statement that I can make, and the one that, if I allow, will have the most impact. Because that split mind is always looking outside of itself. If Amrit would only just get this, she would be okay, or whoever else it may be. Hi, everybody. I'm sure there was a big lesson just in that. Shut up. What are you talking about anyway? I think that's ultimately what I wanted to share. What are we talking about anyway? Why aren't we just being this? Why aren't we just radiating this like the sun? The sun doesn't need to explain itself. The sun doesn't understand all of the chemical reaction things that are happening that make it radiate such brilliant light. And why do we seek to draw attention to ourselves by explaining anything? Why can't we just be still? Hold still within that light and allow the radiation to do all the work. So that word humility has just been ringing in my ears for the last couple of days. And as I said before, realizing that I'm the only one that needs to get this. And if I can just keep the focus not on myself, because that's not quite it either. It's not about focusing on only me getting this. It's about realizing that I don't need to tell you anything. I don't need to get you to do anything. And that's a trick. That takes some real work, because the split mind is so adept at looking outside of itself and identifying all the things that you're getting wrong, or all the things that you need to improve with. But as soon as I do that, I'm trapped in a cycle. And the only way out of that cycle is to keep bringing it back in a humble way, to realizing that there's nothing any of you need to do. There's not even anything I need to do, except relax and allow, and to realize that this is over already, as we said yesterday. This already happened. I may continue to try and string it out in a linear fashion so that it's a long time seems like something, instead of right now. So I think it's so important for all of us just to keep coming back to this realization that the only one who needs to get this is me. because that allows us to more humbly fall back into the arms of the beloved and to allow that light to shine, allow that radiation to do its own work. I don't need to guide it. I don't need to tell the light what to do. I just need to be the light. So that being said, I did write something. So I thought I would share, because this came through literally right before we began our session. So let me go ahead and put this up on the screen as I was thinking about this. Don't tell me what you think. I don't care what you think. Tell me who you are, who you really are, and I will listen intently. Don't insist I give you the credit you think you deserve. A shadow deserves no credit at all, while total credit goes to the one who sees a shadow for what it is, then turns back toward the light. Don't spend your time telling me what you've learned. I'm more interested in what you've unlearned and what you're willing to release. You'll never get into the kingdom weighed down with your concepts and beliefs. They're like full packs piled with rocks. Be light and run toward the gate, and then you'll find that it has always been open to you. You've probably heard me say that first line before. Don't tell me what you think. I don't care what you think. I don't care what I think. Why would I care what you think? We always go around and say, well, this is what I think. We're asserting ourselves. This is what I want to share. It's about no longer trying to assert our identity in time and space and falling back rather than trying to lean forward. It's about relaxing. And you'll be able to get so much further if you do that, and if you allow that to be the presence, if you allow the presence to shine through rather than an identity. And this is, I could say, something that we all need to do and to learn, but really it keeps, if I think about it more, comes back to only one place, and that's me. Not in an egoic way. When I say that I'm the only one that needs to learn this, it's not a way of pumping my identity up. It's really the opposite. Once again, is humility. In other words, I don't need to teach you anything. There is no you. There is no me to teach. There is only that falling back into the arms of grace and allow the lesson to teach us, or better still, to have already been learned. So I'm going to keep this session real simple and just keep it right there. Because what I'm sharing is for each one of us. Each one of us is called to that place of humility where we stop asserting what we think we know, stop asserting our identity, and once again, fall back into the arms of grace. I remember being the young Catholic I was raised to be. This was the day when you could tell every Catholic kid from every Protestant kid in my town. Anybody know how? Because all the Catholic kids walked around with ashes on their foreheads. And it was a way of saying, look at me, I'm of the true church. As opposed to you Protestant heathens that... It's always that look at me that gets us in trouble, rather than look at thee. Did you hear that? It's not look at me, it's look at thee. It's not me asserting who I think I am or how important I think I am or what I think I know or anything like that. Wearing ashes on my forehead making me special. Look at thee, which is shining everywhere in every moment, in every direction. I can look around into all of you and see that light. That's the only thing I need to do, not try and prove anything to anyone else. How much I know. I know nothing. Thank you, Sergeant Schultz, my guru. And on that note, I will turn it over to our dear Victoria, because I'm sure there's a little bit of Sergeant Schultz in her as well. Vicky, are you out there?
Oh, yes, Brother James. I'm right here.
Good morning.
Good morning. So here's the practical spin. And I agree with you. If we, each of us with that perspective, only I need to do this. Only I need to open my heart and mind to the truth of who I am. Then it will extend and it will lead itself here, wherever in time I find myself. But humility right now is knowing I don't know, but also being very aware and present. Present awareness with relaxing and resting immediately where we're projecting, where we're fearful, where our thoughts are amiss, show up because we're not blocking them anymore and they run on an automatic pilot of their own. So with awareness, with this humility of stepping back and relaxing, awareness lets me pay attention to those thoughts and say, no, no, no more. That's not true. Nothing I have to do with it. Simply not true. It's like life is a true and false test. Love is true. Everything else isn't. Love is true. Everything else isn't. But it's up to me to catch where automatic falseness is operating in me. So I put an end to it. It's that simple. And we know the difference. Love joins, love gives, love is restful, and fear is fearful. It separates, it fights, it makes excuses, it makes up rules. It's very self-evident. And the easy part is if we're aware of it, we need do nothing with it. It's a simple prayer. Oh, correct my mind in this. I'm no longer holding and believing in thoughts or myself. That part that I believed in, it's not true. I simply let it go. And I rest back into that truth of spirit. I don't know how to be, I'll be shown. Humility is the willingness, I don't know, I'll be shown right now how to be in that holy presence. So I would just put awareness with it. And then the last line in that little quote, and rush to the gate. Wherever we find ourselves, the way in time that we rush to the gate is we join and connect with each other in love and blessing. And probably more times than not in silence, not just rushing to tell someone you love them or this or that. It may be holding a door open for them. It may be a smile, but it's a full rushing to the gate of the holiness of our brother, rushing to the gate to love and bless. And it may look like nothing. It may just be sitting in prayer and a thought of a brother comes to mind. But the true joining in time is, for me, what rushing to the gate is. Other than that other way of really falling into revelation, falling into that experience, those champagne bubbles, uncork the bottle and let those champagne bubbles up, and let them go out. So awareness, what isn't true just isn't true. No, let it go. But I need to be aware so it doesn't run my show anymore. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yes. I love how you said that the soul always offers a true and false test, whereas I'll just add this part, the ego always gives us a multiple choice test.
Right.
All these multiple choices, but the soul says, just look at this and decide whether this is true or whether it's false. And then at the very end, you said, no, let it go. I like that too.
That's good.
That'll be an easy one for us to remember today. No, let it go.
Let it go.
Thank you, Vicky.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Teddy, what would you like to share today?
Well, you know, the truth is, I really don't know. Um, See, I think it's interesting. We're learning something about ourselves individually and about our brothers because we're not separate. We're not different from our brothers. And you know, one of the things is, you know, we for some reason we still need words to come together to have an excuse to join with each other. And that's the best I could come up with after you've had certain experiences and you do know, unless you're given a reason or asked to do something, there is no reason to do it. But the idea that we can come together and just join with each other with like-minded people for even a short period of time, you know, a half hour here or whatever, in the course of the day that we sort of go through, it is important because there's an energy in the joining that isn't experienced in separation, and the separation is sort of wearing on us, and in our experience, it's wearying, and coming together like this sort of gives us a moment to not have to deal with that, and just literally join with each other. Now we're not to the point. I mean, some of us are actually, where we can, you know, we understand that the reason why that the coming together is for a purpose not of this world, and for a realization of who we are as one together. And you know that could happen anywhere at any time. And yet, you know, the idea that there are people here from all around the world who come together in single purpose to me is spectacular. That's And if we need an excuse, like, you know, there seems to be, I don't know, a focal point for a second, like someone who, you know, I don't know, seems to have something that they can offer. So what? In the end, with the realization is we are one. We've all been given everything, and in that realization, the need for, you know, hierarchy is gone, and we're back into the understanding of the brotherhood as God created us to be. That's it. I don't know anything else. That to me is what's going on. And the single purpose here is to recognize who I am so I no longer have to participate in a world of space and time where division is even possible. Because in reality, there's no division, there's no separation. That doesn't mean that we have a soul. We're all individual souls joined together in the oneness of God creating. Um, and this is just a way of coming to the realization of who we are and validating that for each other. That's it. That's good. That can't be bad.
No, I totally agree. It really is all in the joining of this single purpose. And like you said, Teddy, if we need an excuse to do that, great. We don't ultimately, but you know, this is our excuse. Every morning or every evening, wherever you are in the world, we can come together and feel the commitment of all of our mighty companions for this one experience, this one reality. Not in a way that asserts our identity, not in a way that we're claiming to know everything that there is to know, but in a way of just relaxing into that reality together. That's it. Beautiful. Thank you. Well, there's someone else out there who I always love when she shares, and she's got her hand raised high. And I think she's up here in her room, right? And there she is, sitting up there in her room. Hi, Calico. What would you like to share?
Hi, Jimmy. I loved the reading you did this morning, and I just thank everyone for sharing on this group. It's a powerful way to start the day. And what was there for me? There was there was a little shadow on the screen a couple of weeks ago, that kind of flitted by at Namaste. And you know, I say if you want the speed up, join spiritual community. And
Yeah. So
I,
true.
so there was a blip that came through. I had an opinion about it. Okay. So there was a lot of little conversations going on about it. And I I've really slowed my mind down, and that's been very helpful for me. As I clear, it can just slow down. And so I can see the first stage before I enter the door of suffering. And that first stage is, and this is the way it appeared to me, was, yeah, but.
Yeah, right.
You know, yeah, but I have an opinion and I'm right. And it's so nice to get that, because immediately, as soon as I hear that, yeah, but in my mind, I'm immediately like, okay, let's sit back and relax a little. My opinion is not necessary. In fact, if anything, it's going to lead me down a path of suffering in some way, because my opinion, as we all know, is the right opinion. And then power. And then I get agreement from others. Now it really has power. And then the separation is just complete by then. And so I have to catch myself in those, beginning stages of shadow alerts. And for me, one of my shadow alerts is anytime I think, yeah, but. And so anyway, thank you for this morning. I mean, it's all practical experience for me at this point. And so I just really appreciate that perspective, because no, it's something I do in every moment of every moment. So anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Love you guys.
Thank you, Calico. Brilliant. Yes. That's our job, to just listen for the yeah, but. We all have a big but, don't we? Somewhere in there, there's always a big but trying to assert itself. And if we can just pay attention and listen for that it's really just a compromise, right? The yeah, but is just me trying to compromise what cannot be compromised. We listen to these high truths, to these grand ideas, and there's a part of us that says, yes, 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 yeah, but. As soon as I have an opinion, yeah, but. As soon as I want to attack you with my opinion, and then as you said so beautifully, Calico, and then I have to get other people to agree with me, because it strengthens my but. It strengthens my opinion, as opposed to realizing there's nothing there at all. I think this just keeps coming back to the or releasing the need to assert our identity and to pay attention to those moments where we slip and say, yeah, but, and then, try and go around and just assert our opinion in a slightly more tricky way. Just pay attention to that and then choose again. Because we're going to do it probably 20 times today. And that's okay, as long as you are willing to notice it and then choose again. So I'm going to say thank you to Calico and Vicky and Teddy and all of you. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to be watching our butts today, right?